Hello, Al pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends, the YouTube show that has more episodes than Netflix Cowboy Bebop will ever have.
That's kind of true.
Let's just have a little fun at Cowboy Bebop's expense. Uh, but the film tonight is the 1970 version of A Christmas Carol, the musical version, Scrooge, that was directed by the famous Ronald Neame, who was also the director of the film we'd be watching in 2 weeks, The Poseidon Adventure, which I didn't know until I just suddenly it all clicked. I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing two Ronald Neame films in a row, but that's kind of cool. He's a cool director. But that is the film. The Albert Finney Scrooge. The friends are, of course, the wonderful Pacellis, the glorious ghosts of everyone's Christmas future. Because it is in the future, 1 week in the future anyway. We're still a week from Christmas. We have Cartan, the Klingon cleric, Mr. Troy Pacelli himself. How are you doing, sir? And what are thy imbibing this evening?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm having a diet squirt. Actually, my stomach's been a little bit off today. Well, it's really my own fault. I made breakfast this morning, which was fabulous. It was blueberry waffles, but I kind of went crazy on the sweet. And Netter and I were both, oh, this is really good. And then we were like, oh, we're bouncing off the walls. Our hearts are beating like hummingbirds. And now I'm feeling a little sick.
Oh, Lord. And also joining us, of course, the lovely Nanette. Her figgy pudding brings all the boys to the yard. Nanette from Netter's Network. How are you doing, my lady?
I'm doing fabulously. How about yourself, Al?
I am doing fine. What are thou imbibing?
Michigan on the rocks.
Ooh,
in other words, water.
Oh, okay. I did not
because
know.
We get our water from Lake Michigan.
That sounds delicious.
Well, actually, there's no rocks, just the Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since I moved to this new apartment, the water doesn't taste right because we used to have well water.
Yeah.
Tapped into the artesian well, and here we're on the whatever city water kind of thing is, and you can taste the difference. It's not bad water.
Yeah.
It's just got a different flavor. Still better than that one I had at the last nursing home I was at.
Wow.
But anyway, thank you for joining us. Let's see who's in the chat. Daniel Heron popped in. He was feeling sick. He's going to catch the replay. And to stay awesome, my friends. I hope you feel better, Birdman. Please feel better. It's a bad time of year to be sick.
Right.
Sir Torg Kilgane is joining us. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining in. And that is the only one who has bothered to chat who isn't one of us or sick. So,
it's funny because yesterday for my stream, when you log in, you see how many people are watching and whatnot. And I had a handful of people watching, and I'm like, there's definitely more people here than are actually on the stream or have commented. So people are lurking.
Which is, that's cool. I have always said, the Owl Pals are mighty. And I do have a few people that watch later and comment later. I know one, her name is Lynn. She'll sometimes leave a little note. AL will sometimes. Well, AL's more of when I do a ramble video. But, they stop by and, that's really cool. Speaking of course, my latest ramble video is available from the other day. It's the part 3 of my journey through Christmas movies, at least the new ones this year that I have been enjoying. But yes, Scrooge, 1970. It won the poll over Scrooge 1951, aka A Christmas Carol, depending on what country you were in, with Albert Finney. I'm still going to watch that. I mean, not Albert Finney, sorry, Alistair Sim. Still going to watch that. Caught part of it the other day on television. But Albert Finney won. I guess everybody just wants to hear me break out in a song once in a while because
absolutely
I was probably apt to do that because I love this. I love the music for this film. It's just I don't know. It's like thank you very much. It just has it's a great Broadway type feel and just very uplifting and fun. And Albert Finney is fantastic. Alec Guinness.
Hmm.
It's just a really great film. And you guys have seen this? Not seen it?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Saw it as a kid on Family Classics.
Oh yeah, this I forget where I first saw it. I think just like on television, and I got it on DVD because I really liked it. I was like, oh, it's not on as often because it's one of those films that you really, I mean, you'll see A Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation ad nauseum,
Hmm.
but the Scrooge musical kind of just once or twice might pop in. At least that's the way it used to be. And I bought the disc of it, and I realized there's this whole other scene that they never show on television, or rarely show on television, and that's Scrooge in Hell, which is
Yeah.
the coolest scene that they put in this thing. I just thought it was really remarkable. But I've just absolutely adored this movie. A friend of mine is really into it as well. I gifted her the DVD once, and she she watches it regularly as well. But yeah, it's that time of year where like we're winding down. Just it's the fourth Sunday of Advent for the Catholics and Christians out there. 1 week to the big day. Santa and his elves are kicking it up in high gear to get all the stuff ready for delivery. Of course, I'm going to be doing the NORAD thing as per usual.
Right.
I love following the NORAD thing. How are you guys doing on your Christmas
Well,
preparations?
we've both got all of our Christmas presents purchased and ready to go, but not quite got all the. We don't have the tree up yet.
Do you put it
That'll
up
be
late
tomorrow.
or?
That'll be tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Al. What were you saying?
It's like are you guys usually late putter uppers or you just haven't got around to it?
Frankly, yeah. I mean, my goal would always be to use Thanksgiving weekend for it because, that's what most people do. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
We've had
not
our
most people.
true.
And I usually don't put it up until after my birthday.
Yeah.
everybody has their little thing. I know some people like New Year's Day, boom, it's down. Whereas in my family, we wait till the 6th because that's Little Christmas, the Epiphany. You keep it
Sure.
up through the Epiphany. So
We keep the
this
kids-
year,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying, this year is the first year we've actually had one up for a while because the new place and everything. And luckily, I have a nurse comes a couple times a week to kind of help out, and she's been helping me decorate the trees. So it's been really nice to have the tree up. It just feels like Christmas for the first time in a long time. That Christmas has felt like Christmas without the TV on.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. And you were saying, Netter, about
We don't take our tree down until after the 8th because that's Troy's birthday on January.
very cool.
Yeah.
You guys within a month. That's pretty cool. Not
Yep.
quite the same. Not quite the same. You're Capricorn, right, Troy?
I am Capricorn, yes.
Okay. What are you, Netter? I don't know
What
what's.
am I? Sagittarius.
You're Sagittarius. Okay, I'm a Gemini. So, what's your sign, dude?
Yeah.
But yeah, love this film. Like I said, gonna give it a little. About 10 after. We still got about 5 minutes. It's a long film. It starts off in the black with bells ringing before you see like the little production company logo thing. So mine starts at 000 because literally when I hit start, the bells start. So does that help you guys?
Yeah, I think
as
Let
far
me
as
just double check.
because I know the DVDs will come with sometimes some of them they'll have like an overture and they'll play all
Oh,
the musical keys to it throughout it. At least the DVDs I've had have had that, but I just have the MP4.
okay.
But I think it's a Blu-ray rip or whatever I've got, and it just starts the music. I mean, it's got the little musical stuff at the beginning, but and like I said, it is available on YouTube. If you don't have it and want to do it, it's I posted it above, and I'll post it again here. That is the full movie, free on YouTube, so no excuse for not watching it. And it's one of the few times that a film actually is free on YouTube that I'm going to do. But you were talking about Christmas presents. I still have the odd one or two things I've got to get shipped to people. A lot of them have been out, but I've still got a few people to do. My problem is Christmas cards.
Yeah.
I got Christmas cards, and I was like, well, I'll do them the next day or so. And that was like 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't done them. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Christmas card thing. I might try. I'm gonna try to get a few of them out. I got a few that I can probably get out really quick. The problem is stamps. So living here, it's hard to get a hold of stamps. I can learn to order from from the postal service online. Get like 100 stamps and just have them, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So anything
Get
going
the
on?
forever stamps though, because those
I
ones don't rise up.
always do. I never get I think most of them that they have now are forever stamps. They're just good, and that is yes the way to go. I wish I could go back in time and get some.
Right.
Because that costs a lot less. But
I just
what was
ordered
I
two
thinking?
books from the post office. I'll get them in about a week.
Yeah, see, I need to do that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get them enough. I've got an aunt will try to get to me. So yeah, but yeah, have you guys been up to anything fun over the weekend? Give another minute or two before we do this. How's work going?
Work's incredibly busy, but
seen any movies? Have you seen the latest Spider-Man?
No, I haven't.
I did.
Good. I'm glad.
Review pending. It'll be out.
Okay, cool.
Tomorrow, Monday.
I've seen a couple reviews. I've because I'm not planning on seeing it anytime soon. I actively searched out spoilers, and I'm not sure that I've actually gotten all the spoilers. I'm sure there's stuff I'm missing.
I think for me the greatest part of the movie, I mean, short and sweet. I liked the movie. It had some issues with me, mostly in the portrayal of the MCU's Peter Parker. A couple things I was kind of like he really pissed me off about.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff is really cool. And one appearance in this film for like a few minutes early in the film that just for me made my heart sing.
Wow.
Let's just say that Hell's Kitchen MCU is acknowledging that Hell's Kitchen's got someone helping it. So
I've heard some issues that people had with like editing. Like there are a lot of great scenes, and I've seen some of these really good scenes, but where they're placed in the movie, like after a very emotional thing happens, then they have this kind of witty banter kind of thing, and it's like that just doesn't make sense.
Now I think about it, you're kind of right. There does seem to be kind of a, and I was trying to think of it. I was like, it's not pacing, but it just kind of seemed to be the emotional string or flow, emotional flow.
Yeah,
kind of was really wacky.
But I'll tell you one thing though. I don't want to get into spoilers, but I did see one scene that was like, even though I haven't seen all the previous Spider-Mans, I know enough about them to understand the impact of the scene, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, there's some really cool emotional aspects. And
Yeah.
I will say, having the three, I mean, it's pretty common knowledge
Yeah.
that we get the other two Spider-Men from
Yeah.
the other two franchises, and I, to me, that's one of the best parts of the movie is those three interacting,
Yeah.
and just some of the callbacks, and just seeing especially Tobey Maguire again
Yeah.
was cool, and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, please, that's awesome.
Speak of AL, how you
Hey,
doing,
Al,
AL?
how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You watched the Sim one last night and watched under the covers. His body fought off a fever. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Hope you're feeling better. Like I said, if you do want to watch along, it is on YouTube. It's I've got the link up there, totally free. You can lay back and just have a little sing along time. Speaking of sing along time, I think it is the time that we start this movie.
Yep, we're at the 17-minute mark. That's about right.
We could go off on a Spider-Man twin.
Well, we could do that another night.
God knows, God knows, we could really go off on it.
In fact, we should probably hold off on it until you get your review out.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much. I don't care. I just do it for my own fun. So.
Sure.
But yeah, like I said, we're starting at all zeros just as the film starts. The bells ring and they have the little production weird company logo-y thing, whatever independent weird thing that was doing. But yes, 1970, the musical Scrooge with the wonderful Albert Finney and the remarkable Alec Guinness. Just a great musical adaptation of Scrooge, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Jingle dingle dingle, jingle jingle, do 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 do. See, it's kind of weird to have this little CCF logo.
Yeah.
That pops in late.
I vaguely remember that from my childhood.
So it presents. Cheer, said cheer. Albert Finney. I love the font they use.
Yeah.
You were talking about Christmas and ghost stories.
Yeah.
And we have kind of lost that. We haven't lost it. It's just kind of Christmas Carol is kind of where we contain it. The great Edith
Evans.
Kenneth More. I love Kenneth More. He's the Ghost of Christmas Present. It's got a really great cast, British cast, so a lot of people recognize a lot of the names. Roy Kinnear. I forgot Roy Kinnear was in this. Because Roy Kinnear pops up a lot in a lot of other films. The Children.
Yeah.
And I love the artwork. If you really look, someone said, well, the artwork spoils the movie. I'm like, you don't know the story of A Christmas Carol? Come on.
In fact, now that I think about it, I had a storybook, a very prestige format storybook for Scrooge, and it was this artwork and some of the stills from this movie.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the art. I mean, there's a lot of great artwork out there for A Christmas Carol, like some of the original etchings in Dickens books. Do you ever see The Man Who Invented Christmas? The film?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw it a couple years ago. The guy who played the Beast in the live-action Disney Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Guy who played Legion. I can't never remember the actor's name, but he plays Dickens, and it's really a good film.
Wow.
It's kind of a fictionalized version of how he wrote the story and got inspired and stuff like that. Directed by Ronald Beam. God, I love that heavy accent you're singing.
Right?
Hark the herald angels sing.
Right.
Dan Stevens, thank you for touring again. I can never remember that guy's name, and that's kind of sad.
It It's funny. It's like caroling has always been the bane of people's existence.
Yeah.
At the holidays.
You pay money for them to go away.
Now you have to give them figgy pudding or they won't go away.
Right.
I love figgy pudding. And plum pudding and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love his little meticulous counting. And how he spreads out those coins like that.
Yeah.
Albert Finney is 33 years old at the time this was made.
Huh.
Makeup was 3 hours. To get him to look that old. Hide the money. Nominated for 4 Academy Awards: Art Direction, Costume Design, Original Song Score, and Best Song for Thank You Very Much, which happens later. Governor.
These days we'd call him a Karen.
Yeah, pretty much. The Karen, the new Scrooge.
Right. Wow.
I forget, what exactly was his business?
I assumed he was a moneylender.
Yeah, pretty much. He was kind of like a bank. Yeah. He would get, give you 10, you pay him 15, and that's kind of how he made. Plus, I think in some versions he kind of was into goods trading and stuff like that. So he's part of the trading stock kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Goods.
They'll go with Potter otherwise.
Stake of holly through his heart, man. That's
such a. I mean, I tell you, it's a Christmas vampire.
Right, exactly.
Christmas vampire. Stake of holly.
Scrooge has no honor.
No, exactly.
Oh yeah, if you've noticed their avatars,
yes,
they are the Klingon Christmas Carol version.
Scrooge and Tim Holm.
Tim Holm. Now, when they do the version of that, is it all in Klingon?
Yes, but there is a narrator played by a Vulcan who does speak.
Oh, okay.
The regional dialect.
And very
because I I'm very much a Star Trek fan, but I do not speak Klingon.
They also do it kind of like they do with operas. They have the projector at the top or bottom of the stage so that you can see the translation.
Happy New Year. Oh, I guess it's working at 7 o'clock. It's Christmas Eve, and he's got this guy working it till 7 o'clock.
Honestly, I have had some jobs where it was kind of like that.
Yeah. I used to work retail. I know what it could be like. Oh, man.
Yeah, those retail days.
Yeah. Black Fridays. And luckily, when I worked at Borders, we were only closed 2 days a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I tell you, the day after Thanksgiving and the Christmas Eve, that was a day. Although we did close early on Christmas Eve, but People did not want to take no for an answer when they're coming in 15 minutes after you've closed.
Wow.
You had to close the door and have someone at the door to let people out, but not let people in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be me. I'd be at the door like, no, you're not coming in. We're closed. Get the frick away.
Yeah.
It's like we're tired. It's been a long day. You're not coming in. Little me had no problem telling people to go away.
I like that little teeny safe. I love he has counted it 3 times.
Yep.
Doesn't want to make some accidental overpayment.
Or he just has OCD.
Mm-hmm. And on the surface, again, like we were talking about, you can kind of, yeah, he's kind of a jerk, but when you get to know his history, especially when you're looking at the Christmas past and whatnot, you're like, okay, I guess I can kind of understand how he got to where he's at.
Okay, AL, we are at 10 minutes and 9, 10, so 10:10.
Wow, I am exactly right there with you.
God, I love these toys.
Yeah. I used to love, here in Chicago, they had, at Marshall Fields, they used to do the windows up just like this. Mostly that you could go window to window and there was like an ongoing story. Obviously, we don't go into the city anymore, so I don't know if they still do that.
Well, it's not Marshall Fields anymore.
It had become Macy's, that's true. I don't know what it is now.
It's still Macy's.
Okay, that's a little apocryphal because you see they have that tinsely, what do you call it, hanging down, and you would not have seen that in Victorian
Like a tinsel
England.
garland.
That tinsel garland, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's very 60s, 70s.
A little anachronistic.
Yep. I mean, because I was looking at the toys and, you know, the displays, and I'm like, well, I suppose those are all possible.
The toys from the Sim version were creepy. Yeah.
Actually, now I'm seeing all the electric lights, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Well, I
looking
think
at the
it's-
women's outfits going, that's not Victorian.
Yeah.
Like I said, I never looked too close, so.
I will say this, though. The hat that Cratchit is wearing there, it tells a story in and of itself, right? It's a nice hat that he's obviously been trying to keep and protect, but it's old and worn.
Yeah, same thing with his scarf. You see where
Yes.
it's like torn and. But I love that scene where the guy's like, "You have 5 kids, Bob.
Yeah.
5 for a shilling, or a penny, or whatever it was."
Yeah.
It's like the comparison.
Yeah.
I've always meant to look into like the old money system that they had, the shilling, when they still had the shilling and tuppence and all that kind of stuff. I think they've gone back to that system, haven't they? Well, they still do euro, but don't they still have pound and shilling?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right. They have gone back to that. They've dropped some of the coins that they mentioned back then, basically because inflation has made them
Worthless.
obsolete. But yeah,
Like the halfpence.
right. Yeah, you won't find a halfpence these days.
I'd rather have the oranges.
And if you think about it, in the Victorian era, that was a luxury.
Yeah.
You nowadays you can get them anytime, anywhere.
But I like the juxtaposition they do between the rich guy, or what you get if you're rich, or what you do when you're poor. You see the guy getting the great wine and the champagne, and he's getting this hooch, basically, from a barrel. Does anyone know where Bob's Your Uncle comes from?
No, I do not.
No, I'd have to look that up. You hear it, though, a lot. Are you tapping? I'm tapping, too.
Okay, 1887, British Prime Minister Robert Cecil appointed his nephew Arthur James Balfour as Minister of Ireland. The phrase "Bob's your uncle" was coined when Arthur referred to the Prime Minister as Uncle Bob.
Ah. And it kind of means it's all over, it's all done. Oh, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Young and old. I told you I will spontaneously come out and sing once in a while.
But it works perfectly when our videos are completely in sync, so I'm at exactly to the second the same place you are.
Yeah. And I love their little tree with the little candles on it. Of course, the old tree way you used to have lights on trees, you have little candles, and you had to be really careful with it too.
Yeah.
The great Roy Kinnear. Of course, everyone will remember for Willy Wonka.
That's right. Yeah. Unlikely.
The way they portray them, they're almost kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But they're actually trying to do something nice.
Right. There is something to be said for it. They are wealthy individuals themselves,
Right.
trying to be charitable and help other people to be charitable.
A little Christmas philanthropy never hurts.
And it does come off a little bit old-timey SJW-ish,
Right. He's got the little box. Widows and orphans.
I do like the attempted spin there. Oh, you wish to be anonymous.
Yeah. Agent Boomer in the house.
Yeah.
Christmas punch is a Cratchit specialty. That it is. Lots of great Christmas punch recipes out there.
Yep. In fact, Tasting History just had one this year.
Yep.
Oh, you saw that one already. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a mulled wine, but it was
Smoking Bishop, I believe it's called.
Yeah, it was a smoking bishop. That's what it was. Like me. Tallow candles.
Which were a little costly.
Yeah. Hate people.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It hasn't gotten any better.
Peaches. On there, into the dasses. I love, and these are great lyrics to these songs. And yes, this they did make this into a stage show with John Pertwee playing uh, Marley, I believe.
Oh,
And,
you know what? Oh, sorry.
Robert. Oh, God, I can't remember his name. Robert Newley,
Oh,
Anthony Newley, playing Scrooge. But yeah, it's like Doctor Who was on stage playing.
oh, sure.
Like how everybody's like creeps out when they see him. No.
Al, the Alton Brown free range fruitcake is without a doubt the best fruitcake we have ever had. Definitely, definitely worth the effort if you are ever interested in trying fruitcake. Alton Brown also has a great recipe that we haven't tried yet, but it looks really good. We printed it out for sugar plums that we're thinking about trying.
I love a fruitcake. I might have to try and get a fruitcake this year. I always would love to order one of those fruitcakes from like the monastery cakes that they have.
Oh,
They're so expensive.
I would imagine.
It's like signing with the devil.
Yeah.
He's like a bookie.
Yeah,
Or
sort
a loan
of.
shark. And if you don't pay your bookie, you're gonna get your arms or legs broken.
Right.
Same with loan
Kind
shark.
of. He does play the old miserable guy so well.
Right?
Homemade eggnog. AL, you are after my own heart.
Oh, I tried to do that yesterday.
Yep.
Or the day before.
Scrooge makes the same noises I make during winter. He just, you always see great Scrooges being the miser, but they have this scene in here, he is just almost borderline evil.
Yeah.
Or he comes off evil. When you think about it, is he doing anything wrong?
I mean, if
No.
anything, he just wants to be left alone, right?
Yeah, he wants to be left alone. He runs a business. These people have made a business deal with him, and they,
Right.
he's got a point, but
He's
dude,
a jerk.
yeah, he's a jerk about it. Gang of hooligans. Father Christmas, the big man in the whole universe. Now, I will admit, That would piss me off too if I were him.
Right?
Give me my effing hat back. And who knows what kind of lice that little kid would have being a street urchin like that.
The kids kind of remind me of the kids from Annie. I expect them to break into It's a Hard Knock Life.
Yeah. Or like Oliver Twist, keep it with
Oh, yeah.
I love that mug.
Yeah. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, giving him an extra week, that's actually still being pretty generous.
Yeah. The Victorian version of a food truck.
Yeah.
On TV, that was always a commercial break.
Yeah, that's right.
They would cut there and they would pick up back when he's.
It's funny because that's how I watch. What's it called? Wizard of Oz. I always know where the commercials are.
Yeah.
There he is, Force Ghost Obi-Wan.
Scrooge, use the Force, Scrooge.
Yeah.
Like Ale's like sort of like I'm like, what if you had lice? So what if Scrooge has lice too? Where you see the way he lives, I mean, you're kind of fake. He's
Now I could totally see, okay, maybe trick of the light. It's a face.
Oh, this is what gets me. He's such a miser, but he has such a big house. You would think he would have a much smaller place, so he doesn't have to worry about heating it or lighting it.
Well, that's just it, though. He doesn't heat the whole house. Yeah.
Doesn't heat it, doesn't clean it. And the house was left to him, I think, by Marley, if I'm not mistaken. At least in some versions, they do that. That he basically took everything. I love this scene. It's so spooky.
That looked like what's his name, Holst?
Oh,
Amadeus. That's what it looked like.
But I love that they have that spectral carriage in his house. He's like, what have I been eating?
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, his life, he works, he goes about his business after he leaves. He goes home, eats, and goes to sleep. That's his life. There is no joy in his life.
Yeah.
He even reuses the little matchstick thingy. Hell, I'd be much more freaked out about that if I saw it. Yeah, you're right. If I saw a spectral carriage, there's something about that image, and it's the same feeling I get when I see the Coach DeBauer in Darby O'Gill. That spectral carriage image, just to me, it just hits me for some reason.
Yeah.
It's the wind.
Scrooge.
Well, and it's true. There's a lot of aspects of this where you're like, it's kind of easy to, okay, I'm hearing moaning in the pipes and whatnot. It's the wind. My imagination's getting away from me a little bit.
I mean, especially since he has such a drafty house.
It is drafty, yes. I mean, really, look at that place. He has no decorations. He's got nothing. It is
It's joyless.
It's literally as bare bones as you can get.
And with him never getting visitors, you see all the cobwebs on the
yeah.
bells.
Okay, now it's getting a little bit harder to.
No, I'd be looking at going, get off the darn bell.
Yeah. You got my attention already.
Who are you going to
That's what would
call?
get me.
Ghostbusters.
Who are you going to call? Someone else.
I like the way he got his jaw over like that.
Yeah.
I just love the rattling chains.
No, that's Troy typing.
Smart Alec.
In his fencing pose. Great sound effects.
Yeah.
I love how Alec Guinness moves.
Yeah.
And when asked, he hated doing this movie from a physical standpoint. It was very hard on him.
I can imagine.
He's using the same voice he used when he played Fagin in the 1957 Oliver Twist. And I like he pulls the chair over me. It's like nothing. Some nice little comic touches. In this
Yeah.
thing. Al can't even recognize that it's Alec Guinness.
And does he have that wrapping around his head because he had a toothache?
No.
They
Because
do it to keep the chin and the jaw in place. Isn't that what it was for?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because, your jaw sags open after you die.
That's true. I remember my brother was like
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a version of Marley. I can't remember what film. It might be the Patrick Stewart version when he takes off the jaw, the thing, because he can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does, his jaw falls open.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
You hear like this bone on bone thing happening.
Yeah.
Maybe like knock off the noise.
Yeah.
I love how the money boxes and the keys are floating. It's just such a great image. And poor Alec Guinness, being in the harness that they had him in, gave him a hernia that he needed surgery for.
Wow.
Yeah. Poor Obi-Wan. One key looks like it opens the Fortress of Solitude. So I love this. Great spectral ghosts flying through the air. Ooh.
Don't drop me.
That's an interesting touch. All the other ghosts,
Yeah.
like they're passing through the. Yeah.
Astound you, I can tell. Inhabitants of hell. And I like how a lot of them have chains of their own. Everybody is forging chains as they go through life, some more than others.
Yeah.
I love how dirty his fingers are. Oh. The Mr. Magoo version of A Christmas Carol showed the ghosts as well. That was really unsettling for little me.
Mm-hmm. One would imagine.
Oh, Go Team Ghost Planet Go is here. Hi, Melissa. How you guys doing tonight? If anybody is watching, it is on YouTube. The link is higher up in the chat. We're at the 35 minute and 44, 45, 46 mark. Once again, that is 35:50. Turn around lit.
It's not like you get a choice in the matter, Scrooge.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, let's not say we did.
And here's what I say. In the book, it's supposed to be over 3 days, if I'm not mistaken.
That may be.
Yeah, because I've read the book. I've seen so many versions. Sometimes I get all the weird things crisscross. I'm not quite sure which one is actually right. Which is why he's so remarked at the end. He's like they did it all in one night, because he thought it was going to take a couple nights.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm sure from a certain reading of it, it could be interpreted that rather than physically moving, it was more of an astral sort of a situation. One could interpret it as a dream. And if that's the case, then the amount of time is irrelevant,
Right. So Torque Glazeless, it was. I've always been in the mind that Marley was trolling him. Might have been Marley. In this one, they give him kind of a mischievous side.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, he kind of, especially later on when Marley comes back for a scene that's not in the books, but a lot of fun. You need a new paint job. That is quite a clock.
Right?
Make sure you get up in the morning, that's for sure.
I always like the ones with little bells on top. I used to have one like that.
So, I mean, does the book even go into where? Yeah, I like the fact that he puts his valuables underneath the chamber pot.
Yeah.
Do they go into where he, the history of his house or anything? Like if he purchased it or if it was inherited?
Not really. Like I said, I'm not sure. I know in a lot of versions that the house had belonged to Marley.
Oh,
And then when Marley died, he kind of inherited all of Marley's assets. Being,
that makes sense. Yeah. Especially if the house was in the name of the business, which
right.
for financial reasons I could see them doing. So, yeah.
I love nightshirts and nightcaps like that.
Nightcaps are good when it gets cold. You're absolutely right, especially for a bald guy like me.
Edith Evans.
And it is highly appropriate for the lady to be in his bedchamber.
a little different as far as the Ghost of Christmas Past was supposed to be this like amorphous, gender neutral kind of.
Yeah.
Almost like was it like seemingly young and old at the same time, and gave off a very bright light.
To see where you went wrong.
Yeah.
And I like how they're all dressed up. That's another thing kids used to do at Christmas time.
Yeah.
They would
Fancy dress parties, yeah.
Yeah. Like a mummers dance kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the children do.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. All done with fireman foam and what else did they use? Little something or other, some kind of powdery thing.
Was this not filmed in wintertime?
No. Well, I read that to get the snow, they had to use tricks
Gotcha.
of the trade, basically. Was it Epsom salt? Something like that.
That's something you don't see anymore either, the frost on the windows, with the way we have double pane glass and whatnot.
One of the original person that was going to do Scrooge was Richard Harris. Then they got then they were going to have Rex Harrison, but they both had some scheduling conflicts. A little crack in his veneer.
Yeah. That fur trim looks so soft.
I know. Oh, Fezziwig. One of my favorite characters, Fezziwig. Okay, yeah, the outside I'm not sure with the snow. The snow was created on the Shepparton stages using firefighters' foam and Epsom salts.
But I'm guessing that's probably what we saw, on what was clearly sets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the outside stuff, I don't know.
Because I noticed it when the kids took his hat and they dropped it. I'm like, they did not just drop that in real snow.
So, Torgate, I'm fairly sure Richard Harris's commitment was to a bottle of scotch.
Good on him.
He was a famous drinker. A lot of them were back then.
Mm-hmm. There clearly is an attempt to show the, late 1700s kind of styles here.
Mm-hmm. December the 25th. December the 25th. December the 25th. December the 25th.
Well, they certainly do seem to be having fun.
Of course, that is how Albert Finney really looked at the time. December the 25th. Because I couldn't do it.
Well, there's something to be said for it if you never have and you don't know how.
Yeah, like when I watch like a lot of the Jane Austen kind of shows and movies, and they're doing those very complex dances. It's like, man, you get lost. Like even watching
it was part of your education as a child, though.
Yeah,
you learned how to dance and all kinds of things. It was just being cultured.
I like that little wee. Too slow. I love that plaid dress that one woman's wearing.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of plaid-ish.
Well, yeah, something to be said for that.
Yep. Well, yeah. December the 25th, correct. Everybody's going to be getting dizzy. Now, I know you guys like to dress up in period.
Mm-hmm.
You got how cultured are you as far as doing some of the dances of that time period?
Well, Victorian, some of the ball dancing, yeah, we've studied that. But anything before that, probably not. I know that people that do the Renaissance fairs have dancing classes that they take. Those are completely
Yeah.
different dances. We don't know those at all. Hmm.
Was this? Yeah, it was Victorian. Okay. Because basically Victorian period was almost the entirety of the 1800s.
Right. But this
Not
is
quite,
probably
but
late
close.
1700s here.
Yeah, this was earlier in his life. I think. Well, I think the film is set like 1860. I think there's a date in here somewhere that
Oh.
dates it. So this would be 30, 40 years before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
What I think is rather interesting is during this whole flashback scene, Scrooge never talks. The young Scrooge, I should say.
Yeah.
Until a few minutes from now, during
Mm-hmm.
the one particular scene. I love little robots.
Hmm.
Let's see. Sorry, I must spontaneously burst into a part of a song every now and then.
Nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was holding that a bit low. He should have been up
That's
higher.
that's what I felt like too. I always
Yeah.
cocked to the corner of my mouth.
And it looked like he was using his weak eye. Well, I don't know if it is his weak eye, but it looked like he was using the other. Well, I have to look at it again now that I think about it. But yeah, he should have held it up a little higher. So we're breaking down the archery skills of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Right. Well, I noticed when she shot, she did a full draw.
That's another one of the skills that they would do back then. They would go out and
Mhm.
practice archery. I love doing archery. I wish I had done more.
And she may actually be somebody who knows archery. That's why she did the full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather
That's
presumptuous.
Hmm.
Suzanne Neve was played Isabel. Oh, she's still with us. Yay. Because you were an idiot. Now imagine reliving your greatest heartbreak.
Right.
Having to watch it and not being able to say anything about it.
Right.
I've often thought about it because I've had a few of my little moments too. I'd like to go back
I'd imagine. Mm,
You, you can see now that he's got money, his jaw is starting to go askew.
yeah.
Makes me wonder how long they were engaged. Was it like a couple years, 5 years? How long were engagements back then?
Could be years. It depended on
Yeah,
what was expected. If it was expected that you had a certain
or he had
income, a
right.
certain
Yeah,
standing before you could be married.
he would have to make X amount a year or
Hmm.
something. Ooh, you'd be enough for me, Isabel.
Wow.
I love that realization. Say something, you fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more interested in your money than you are me. I can't be with you.
Yeah.
And now you're all alone, you poor, poor man.
Hmm. I'll be right back.
They always say hindsight's 2020. You look back on the lost loves that you've experienced, or even that one special one that you weren't able to have fully realized. You, my only love. You. For someone who is acting through all that makeup, he really does it well.
He does.
That's the one thing I've really, and it, I mean, you can always ask anyone who's been on Star Trek, it's hard to bust through some of that makeup sometimes. So I've always loved Finney's transformation. Although I still think the best transformation of a Scrooge is in the Alistair Sim one, because you can see it in the actor's face throughout. Like you could see the cracks and
Yeah.
that slow progression. It's wonderful. Finney comes close. Come and get me. Now, if anybody asks me, aside from the Three Wise Men or anything religious, what my favorite Christmas icon might be, it's this guy. the, the ghost of Christmas present. Especially the way this guy does him. This guy is my favorite ghost of Christmas present. More tinsel. But it's supernatural, so it's okay.
Wow, is that pretty?
I know I love how they did it. It's so gold and glittery and bountiful. $18.60. See, there they. Now I love the fact that the guy playing the Ghost of Christmas Present is only 5'7".
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had to wear stilts.
Huh.
I love his cup.
That is a heck of a cup.
Oh yeah. I love his eyes. It's like, oh yeah, this stuff is good. Sins of men are huge. No one worse than Ebenezer Scrooge. Superfly would be jealous of that cup. Yes, he would. That is a pimp cup if there ever was one. Life likes me. Life and I we fully agree.
Hey, Al, thanks for hanging out. Get some good rest.
Yeah, thanks for being here, and hope you feel better, and have a great Sunday.
And you know, I really do feel like this song serves as a kind of counterpoint to I Hate People, you know?
Right. I love that roast. Drinking wine.
He's a little drunk.
Well, apparently, it's a really good drink, whatever it is.
That's the milk of human kindness.
Right.
Because I like life.
They could have just opened the window.
I like that Scrooge has got the red underwear. Mm.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's clearly not real snow.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be good news for them. I just love how snarky he is.
Yep.
And technically, when you think about it, he's a day ahead because he's actually seeing that night.
Right.
They are some cute little kids. I've always loved the character of Bob Cratchit because he is a man who loves his wife, loves his family, and can put up with such a crotchety old man
Yeah.
every single day. I like the paper chain decorations.
Oh yeah.
They're holding their cups really weird.
A what?
They're holding their cups weird. Other fingers on the front instead of to the side like you would normally hold a cup.
Okay, so everyone in the family is ginger except for Tiny Tim.
Well, maybe he takes after the mom's side. He's not of Weasley blood.
Ah, yeah.
That would be funny. It's like, this is the proto Weasleys.
Right.
Somehow, someday, what I dream about will be here and now. You just want to hug him. I always like the Tiny Tim song from the Mr. Magoo Christmas Carol.
Mm.
Keeps talking about the pudding. Or
I see
dressing.
what you're
or
talking
something like
about, that he's on stilts.
Yeah. Back in your face.
Yeah. And it's fair that the Ghost of Christmas Present doesn't talk about it, because it's like, that's in the future. That's not my realm.
Well, I know in some versions he has a line along the lines of
I foresee an empty chair at that table.
an empty
Yeah.
chair, and another one's like, if the shadows are not changed, none other of my brothers will see him, or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Ghost of Christmas Future looks cool. Phantasm from Batman is based on him and the Reaper. love old Victorian games.
Mm-hmm. If you were in my will, I'd disinherit you.
Need a little more cheer there, buddy.
Yeah.
If you notice the music playing,
Mm-hmm.
December the 25th.
Yeah.
I guess they had to do everything starts with L.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they go to the next letter.
And you need to remember
Stay-
everything that was said before also.
Well, I think you got to come up with the adjective, a new adjective, and you got to stay in tune. I mean, I like how he's all
Yeah.
in the receiving line.
Wow.
I just love the look on his face there.
Yeah.
That faraway look of sorrow and regret.
Yeah.
See, she would have been his anchor, and he
Mhm.
cut her loose, and then he's just been on a sea of sadness ever since.
Yep. Well, all of the bright influences in his life.
Right.
You know, his sister,
Yeah, he lost his sister. He lost his
fiance,
love.
you know, everything.
He lost his boss. In the 51 version, the company Fezziwig's company was bought out, and he kind of went to work for a new company, and that's where he really started to get miserly. Him and Marley together.
Yeah.
I got another miser I'm going to get to in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Boom. So Torquay says, I've used the party scene in one story. When they finish the guessing game, the subject of the game walks right in, and everybody's
Everybody's
butt
butt
clenches.
clenches. Yeah.
That's like a butt clench. I have to do them when my leg falls asleep and I'm sitting in my chair. Clench my butt gets the blood flowing. It's funny, as I was saying that, oh no, you want TMI? It says, as I was saying it, I was doing my butt clenches. He's like, where'd he go?
What are you looking for? It's gonna be Dusty. Uh-oh.
And always the terrifying image of
Jeff.
the black hooded figure.
My name is Kathleen Kennedy. Nope. That's why I took this role. No lines to learn.
Actually, the ghost is portrayed by Patty Stone, who is the choreographer.
Oh, okay.
And it's Patty, Paddy.
Okay, that was gross. He spit on the plaque.
Yeah. Well, spit shine. Nothing wrong with a good spit shine.
That's disgusting.
Not back then. Some of the other
Yeah,
stuff
they didn't know what
around.
germs were back then.
What did I do? I like the way they did this scene.
Yeah.
So say all of us.
And they never saw the coffin.
And he's tearing up the record book.
Yeah. For us today. And this was the nominated song for the Academy Awards that year.
Yeah, it's probably the most well-known song from this, too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this song came from here.
Oh, and I just noticed that Albert Finney won Best Actor in the Golden Globes for musical or comedy that year. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. It's a nice, unique twist on dancing on someone's grave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very, very much.
And he still had no clue what's going on.
Yep. Well, you can't see the coffin. Melissa says the ghost of Christmas Future is cool. I do like the design of this one in this film, especially. A little more tailored. Thank you very, very, very much. He's having a good old time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's still got a little bit of the milk of human kindness floating in him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go Team Ghost Planet, go. I will try to remember that. And something we were talking about earlier is that Scrooge never went out into the world in a personal matter. It was always business.
Yeah.
And this is his first foray into the world, on a personal level. And he's finding himself personally involved,
Yeah.
in emotion, and giving an emotional weight to him. Always sad. Oh, put a little info about Scrooge and Marley's business. Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
It's not explicitly said in the text, so
Right.
that's an
kinda-
article that kind of breaks it down.
Yeah.
The easy answer is it was an accounting firm, but there's implications from the text that that was only a portion of what they did, that was a department of the larger business.
Right.
Oh.
Because a lot of others, he was always, I guess he was always at the exchange, they would call it.
Exactly.
So he was involved in that. And in this, he's definitely a moneylender.
Notice there's no year on there.
That is pretty scary.
And now a scene written especially just for this movie. Did Scrooge murder Marley, or did the mob come over owing them money? No, Marley just died. He just natural cause. Probably something like consumption. Because they always said his breathing was queer in one movie. Things are about to heat up.
He wakes up just in time for the destruction of Krypton.
It does have that kind of vibe, doesn't it? With the little glowing
Yep.
walls and stuff. Smell of sulfur and brimstone.
So that's interesting. His future includes his eternal future.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
Like the faces in the wall.
Yeah.
Nobody else want to. It's like how he moves. A little jaunty run.
Yeah.
A nice little throwback to this to the text of the book. Dead as a coffin nail, where he's, you know.
Yeah.
It's just creepy when you look at the walls and you see the faces in the walls.
Yeah.
Great set design.
He dies and he gets a job.
Yep. As the devil's clerk.
Something tells me this is a redress of the other set.
Oh yeah. Is asking, is he dead? No, it's part of his seeing of Christmas is yet to come. So toward again, if you see a man with pins in his head,
Yeah. Actually, if he's got pins in his head, you better call him Hell Priest. He will not recognize the name Elliot. Or even Lieutenant Spencer.
Well, here comes his chain that he forged in life.
That is one heck of a chain.
Oh yeah.
That's a chain, all right.
Oh yeah. Woo. It's still like the line earlier. It's like, you'll be the only one in hell who's chilly. of broadcasts, they will cut that hell scene out.
Mm.
They'll go from him falling in his grave and then him here,
Yeah.
which is sad because it's such a great scene.
And again, like I said, quite clever because he's actually seeing his own afterlife.
Right.
It is his future.
Think that will last.
So is it that little Tim or
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim, whatever his name is, died because like he needed an operation or medicine and the family couldn't afford it?
They were never specific, but I think the implication is that whatever illness he had, he might have survived it had he had
Right.
better food, better, less drafty house, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, they've postulated what Tiny Tim was sick of or with, and can't remember what it was. Renal tubular acidosis, kind of a kidney failure.
Wow.
Rickets is another one that was been proposed.
Mm-hmm.
Both
Both of which, if
are
you change their
treatable.
diet, would make
Yeah.
a huge difference.
both are treatable, but if not treated, they are fatal.
Yep.
Again.
It must have been really hard to sing with his chin tucked to his neck like that.
Right?
So why are you throwing stuff, dude? And what would those scrolls be?
No idea.
And I like how he dusts it off. It's dusted off as he comes down.
Yeah, exactly.
A remarkable boy. I love children.
I think I'm going to like children.
Scrooge going
The guy
shopping.
looks really overwhelmed.
Jeez, he's going a little crazy. And all those dolls. I like that. I don't know what the hell it is, but I like
didn't
it.
know what it was. I like it. It's cute.
He's like, dude, I can retire now.
And the sovereign is quite a hunk of change,
Yes, it is.
especially back then.
What has happened? It's a little long story.
Like life.
I discovered I wasn't.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And she's like,
I like that. He buys a bottle of wine and just gives it to some random person.
and then he pulls out another one.
Yeah.
Oh, they got armfuls.
Oh, yeah. He's just going to be giving them away. I like that scarf.
That is a nice scarf.
Help me up.
Piper's piping.
Yep.
Well, there's only 4 of them.
Yeah.
I love that dance move. It gets
Right?
me every time. Music and I'm in a trance. This reminds me of that commercial where they're doing the Aha song.
Oh yeah. There's the ladies dancing and the Lord's leaping.
Yep. Christmas morning.
You can use it as stuffing for this.
If you put it on now, you'll eat it tomorrow, maybe.
Right.
Aw.
Oh my gosh.
What'd he say?
You didn't steal it, did you? There's nothing to be frightened of. He has gone mad. Yeah. One man band.
Yep.
Punch and Judy.
Yeah. That's a big set.
Yes, it is.
Guinea's pretty heavy duty too.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh, she showed her knickers.
I know.
Scandalous.
Ah.
The secular world and the spiritual world about to collide.
And they're Anglicans at that.
Very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. I would love to get the CD soundtrack for this,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't because there's some kind of
A
legal
rights issue?
Yeah. At least last I heard there was a rights issue with it. I think you get like the stage version, but the film version I think is tied up. Go team, goes Pan, goes say the film is long. It's almost 2 hours, hour 54 ish.
Yeah.
And so you get it from eBay. Yeah, there might be other versions out, but like I said, I don't know if the CD is available. But I might be going on old info too. So I love this with my family. I just like I'm going to have Christmas dinner with my family. Merry Christmas!
Wow.
Made at Shepperton Studios, London, England. Or I think some Star Wars was made there too.
Wouldn't
I
be
think.
surprised. Thank you very much.
Yeah, here's where they have some of the
That anyone's ever done
musical
for
cues. Well, everyone, that is Scrooge, the 1970 musical classical version of A Christmas Carol with the great Albert Finney and Alec Guinness and a cadre, a lot of other people.
me.
A huge cast. But love that film, always have. That's one of the films I need to see, or I feel like need to see every year for it to really be Christmas. So I've still got a couple I've still got to watch. Still got to watch the 51 version with Alistair Sim. God, I always say Albert. God. And what else do I need to watch? I think I've seen everything else that I normally need to watch.
Did you watch Christmas Story this year?
Not yet. Although A Christmas Story, I don't need to see. I've seen it a lot, so it's kind of like But I still need to watch the Rankin Bass. Santa Claus is Coming to Town and Year Without a Santa Claus. Got to watch those. And I gotta watch. And I gotta watch The Grinch. The original, the cartoon. But that is Scrooge. Films with Friends is.
I've got a couple suggestions for you.
That's
Al.
the last one for the
For
year
you, for this year.
officially. The official Films with Friends, unless I do like a weird one on a whim or something.
Sure.
But the next Film of Friends is going to be on January 1st of 2022, and it is going to be also the Ronald Neame directed film the Poseidon Adventure. We're going to get
Wow.
2022. Let's get the disasters out of the way. I'm going to be celebrating all of January with Irwin Island disasters, starting with the Poseidon Adventure, the Towering Inferno, and following up with the Swarm with special guest Age Boomer will be joining us for the Swarm. And what is next on Netters Network's Retro Cinema Presents?
Well, that will be next Saturday.
Christmas Eve, Christmas night.
Yep.
And we will be watching A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yay!
We're also going to be showing it on Troy's Discord.
Yep.
So for those of you who don't have a copy,
I'll have a
you can
link
just
in the
have
video
the
and
link.
everything. Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
And let's see what else.
Yeah, what else is coming up is are the Geeky Geezers in town tomorrow night?
Yep. Well, actually, tomorrow morning, Matthew Flynn's
okay.
channel, the last season of Ben 10 Omniverse. That's tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. And then, yes, tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Central Time, Geeky Geezers. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about Spider-Man, homeless or wherever he is. And
Far From Home. No Way.
that's
no
where
way.
it is. Something like, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, it's like the title, those subtitles that they've given the Spider-Man films are like hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah.
Homecoming,
And-
Far From Home, and
No Way Home.
No
That's
Way
what
Home.
it is.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
See,
And
it's
then
too close.
and honestly, I don't recall what else. I still have to get those notes put together for
Oh,
Boomer.
well, there's a new season of The Witcher dropped this week. I binged it like hell last night. I told myself I'm going to watch like the first few episodes of The Witcher and then finish it today. Well, I got watching it, started about 5 o'clock, and finished it up about somewhere after 1.
Oof.
I barrel through all The Witcher. I enjoy it. I like the series now, and of course, I must say this is someone who's never read the books nor played the games. This is simply what I'm watching on screen. I like
Sure.
what I see, especially in the one playing some of the girls on there.
Oh,
But
sure.
but yeah, like I said, The Witcher. I might do a little thought ramble review on The Witcher sometime this week. But I have seen Spider-Man, and I'm going to do a review of that. Probably, if I don't get it out, I'm going to try to get it out tomorrow night. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, just keep an eye out for stuff on my channel. Anything else? Do you have a topic for next Friday? Or is there going to be a next Friday?
There is, yes, that's Christmas Eve, right?
Yes, Friday.
Okay, so Friday, Christmas Eve, I will, in place of my regular Friday night drunk stream, I will be doing a Discord viewing one night only, for a private stream on the Discord of the Klingon Christmas Carol.
Ooh.
And I will have a placeholder up on my channel and on the Carton, the Klingon cleric. Yeah, I almost said Christmas cleric. The Klingon cleric on those channels, pointing everyone towards the Discord, and we will watch Klingon Christmas Carol because honestly, it's the only way you guys can watch it. It's a live stage performance. I happen to get one of the few DVDs in existence, and they're not licensed to put any more out. So this is one of those instances where I made sure I owned the physical media because I knew that in very near future it would not be obtainable anymore. So
yeah, there needs to be a Klingon with the spelling of KRIS apostrophe MAS Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah,
Christmas.
exactly. So that's what I got going on Friday.
That'll be going on.
I think in the meantime, I'm going to be trying to catch up on some old holiday classics myself. I only just realized, and I know this is one of Netter's favorites, While You Were Sleeping is actually a Christmas movie. So I need to check that one out.
Now, is it a Christmas movie or does it take place at Christmas? There is a difference, people.
Yes, there absolutely is. One could make the same argument about Meet Me in St. Louis, which happens to feature one of the most classic Christmas songs of all time.
I've never seen that one.
You really should. It's a
Judy
heartbreaker
Garland.
too. Yeah.
Judy Garland, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
Okay, so Gremlins. Is it a Christmas movie or
Gremlins-
just takes place at Christmas?
Gremlins just makes it because Gizmo himself was a present.
That's true. He was. The Bishop's Wife. There's another one.
Yeah, it could be. That one could go either way. I'd have to rewatch that one to see. But I mean, a lot of them, it really has to do with how much Christmas is in it and what the spirit of the film may be. Now, if there's a lot of Christmas stuff, but very little spirit, it could still be a Christmas film. And that's where I think Die Hard, for me, falls short of, it's got Christmas stuff in it, but not enough to warrant its inclusion as a Christmas film. That is my opinion. I know that my opinion means very little to those who die hard fans.
Yeah.
who,
But it does
who-
take place at a Christmas party.
Well, and
well,
honestly,
it started there, but then it just turns into something completely different.
but
That's just, I'm sorry. It's
I
just
don't
my
know.
opinion.
I mean, I don't think it ever really does turn into something else, especially when you get to ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun.
It is like it's like someone kicking a field goal. You got to get it over the bar. Die Hard hits the bar and falls down. It does not go through the bars for me. Of course,
Well, whether it makes it over or not, it's still a football game. So
still a game, still a movie.
But
Doesn't have to be a Christmas movie.
but it's true that there's a lot of films that we consider to be Christmas classics that you could argue aren't specifically. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life. There's a great example. Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn really is all the holidays.
Yeah. Now, It's a Wonderful Life makes it over the bar because, one, the whole end scene of that, but it's the spirit of it is in there. There's a certain, there has to be a certain warmth in it, a certain warmth to the film. And if it does that holds more weight than having Christmas paraphernalia around. Die Hard just has paraphernalia. There's no spirit to it. I'm sorry. It's not a Christmas film.
I understand you have strong feelings
For
about it,
me.
Al. I just don't see it because I
me.
happen to see the Christmas spirit throughout the film. Him trying to
Well-
save his relationship with his wife.
Some
And-
people see UFOs and Bigfoot.
Not
That's
to
all
mention that he is literally putting his life on the line for everybody in that building. What could be more Christian?
Well, that's a firefighter, police officers every day.
Absolutely. And who's he communicating with outside? Another police officer. Absolutely. Absolutely right.
You're not going to convince me it's a Christmas.
Well, you're not going to convince me either. Boys
fine.
Town. Boys
You know
Town
what?
is another one
And you
that
know
I
what?
definitely.
That's fine. We
Yeah.
don't all have to agree on Die Hard. There are two types of people in the world: those who think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, those who don't. I'm just on the don't side, and that's fine. But
Michael
anyway,
disagrees with you too. Doesn't
Oh,
Michael disagree with you too?
Michael French from Retro Blasting. We just saw a video about that.
Oh no, I was thinking the prof because the prof thinks
Oh,
it's
I
a
have no
Christmas film.
idea. I have no idea what he says.
but I will say, I once heard Bruce Willis ask the question, and he said no, and that's good enough for me. So,
If we have learned nothing from the past couple of years, actors don't know shit.
I don't think anybody knows anything.
Yeah, that's for darn sure.
Everybody has an opinion. They're welcome to it. So that's fine. But
Anyway.
anyway, like I said, Netter, besides Christmas night watching Charlie Brown, is there anything ahead for you?
I am still trying to edit the 5 parts of my bathroom renovation.
Yikes!
Yeah, so there's a lot to edit there. It's been take me a while. Every time I start getting into it, it's like, how you start to feel a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still trying to edit those 5 parts, but I'm also going to start renovating my kitchen. So that's going to be another
Oh.
series, and it's going to be similar to my bathroom reno, just in the kitchen and just a little bit different. So,
Yeah.
and it's basically showing how you can renovate your bathroom and kitchen on a budget. Both rooms together cost me under $500.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slap a little paint on it.
Paint and Fablon, so a little
Yeah.
some new hardware.
Yeah,
You have a whole new look, and it didn't cost you a lot of money.
that is true. If anybody's ever watched Trading Spaces,
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I am not talking about Trading Spaces. That was a nightmare.
There's some cheap stuff that they do there that's
do.
absolutely cheap.
there have been a lot of complaints, a lot of the stuff falling apart or going really wacky. But I am saying, like, in general, you can do a lot of good or damage depending on who's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was using it as an example though.
The one that
But,
got me on Trading Spaces is there was a family who had a large family that would come over for holidays and what have you. And for whatever reason, they gained this huge turquoise picnic table. And then the designer went into the family's basement where they weren't supposed to be going, took their wedding candlesticks, which were silver, painted them turquoise,
Oh,
and put them as a centerpiece. The homeowners were not happy.
I remember the one where I don't know if it was Hildy or Doug put straw on the wall.
Yes.
Hildy.
And then there was another where she put feathers on the wall.
Oh God.
No, wait. Hildy was the feathers, and the older fellow was the straw.
No, Hildy was straw.
Was it?
Yeah. No, Frank was pretty slick.
Frank.
Frank, I liked his stuff most of all. I think if I had to do anything and I heard it was Frank, I'd feel okay. If I had Hildy, I'd be scared to death.
I wouldn't want her touching my house.
Yeah. But Frank used to do like really cool things. Like he would make tables, and and his signature was one leg was different on all the tables. But he did one where he broke all this stuff, and it looked very Mediterranean. It was like little broken pieces of something on the top of a table, and then it was grounded. It just really looked cool. But enough of that. So, but yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening for the last Films of Friends for the year. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week ahead. Like I said, tune in for Geeky Geezers tomorrow and Troy Show on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you again next Saturday as we learn the true meaning of Christmas from a little boy with a blanket. Really looking forward to that one. I hope everyone takes care. Anybody got a final word?
Well, as always, I always say that, it wouldn't be a show without you guys. It's fun talking amongst ourselves, but it's more fun when you're joining in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I like when they have the chat. And I'm still working on like a sign out. I've got to figure that out before the new year. How does this sound? Watch what you enjoy, and enjoy what you watch. I don't know.
I like that. That's actually pretty cool.
I gotta tweak it a little bit. I don't know. Something just. I gotta find something that flows.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Take care, and until next time. I said take care already. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.